Princess Serena, not Princess Serena, and today I'm going to show you my top 24 pins I got in 2024. So this year has been the gift that keeps on giving, hence the sweater. But not only with pins, but of course I've traveled so much this year. I graduated with my master's earlier this year, and I have pins to represent all of that in this as well. And of course, lots of beautiful pins to match all of my main collections. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I picked one pin per board. That definitely was not 24. And I do have some displays that aren't boards as well. And then I picked a few scattered throughout to round off the 24 pins I needed to pick. So first I went with this Wally one. Literally Wally himself, couldn't get more classic than this. I have the whole Hidden Disney set, but this one is just so classic and it's so cute. I love the place where they put the Luxo ball. Like it just blends in, like I almost didn't see it. And then because it's new from this year, they have the Mickey head authenticator on the back. So then you know that it's not fake because Hidden Disney pins are among the most common to get fakes. I'm super happy I was able to actually trade for this whole set, so that's even more fun. It is literally 3 p.m. and it is so dark outside. Welcome to winter. So I put on the light. Anyway, spotlight on this next pin. It is another Wally one, though it's not on that board. I decided to pick a pin out of the pins I got this year that don't really fit in my collection, but I have them for like occasions, I guess. I love this one just because like there's a space between the little, I guess, handle of the trick-or-treat bag. I think that's really cute. I'm gonna show you all my official pins first and then all my favorite fantasy pins. So this is one I actually managed to fit in my collection this year. It's Adventures by Disney and it goes with like all my dated Disney park pins and the hotels I've been to and stuff because those are adventures that I indeed had at Disney. And I just love the color scheme of this one so much with like the purple mountains and the yellow brick road, I almost said, because I have Wicked on the brain, the entire soundtrack. Oh my gosh. This is my favorite acquisition on my Pixar alphabet board, which continuously does grow a little bit and shifts just because I do round it off with Pixar in general pins, as I say. So ones with the Luxo ball or a Pixar lamp or both in this case, or just like a bunch of characters. And I just think this one is so vibrant because it's on a very dark blue background. It just pops against all of them. So I love this one, especially because the lamp is like facing you, which is rare in these pins too. It's usually on the side. And on my Pixar set board, technically this isn't like a set, but I deem it like, you know, the character ensemble pins that they're coming out, the clusters that are just the side characters. And I love how Dory and Marlin are on this pin, which means only Nemo is the main character according to Disney. But you know, it's also like Finding Nemo. Where is he? He's not on the pin. But yeah, I really hope they do add more Pixar clusters to this series they got going on. I have the Toy Story one and we're hoping for Monsters Inc. Wall-E, obviously, big fan, but I'm surprised, yeah, Cars and like some of the more popular Pixar movies have not been made into this. Speaking of an ensemble pin, this is an ensemble of all the Disney World parks. This is one of my most recent acquisitions and I just think it is so pretty with the glitter and just captures the magic of Disney. It's just like the color scheme, it's so pretty and the fireworks, and I love pins that represent something, hence like my whole travel board, which this is on now. One day I will rearrange that whole board to fit this with my Florida pins, but for now it happily sits at the bottom until I get more pins to warrant a rework of that board. So of course I was gonna get this pin no matter what, but I'm actually really happy with this one and my 2020 pin as well, my graduation one, because they both have like the real tassel and I'm pretty sure the years in between don't. And I like how this one says graduation day because I actually had one in 2020. I don't think that pin says that, and it's fitting because it was on Zoom. Actually, not even that. It was on YouTube, and I literally saw my name flash across the screen for like 2 seconds. I love how they make Rosh Hashanah pins every year, but this year they actually put the date on it, and they haven't since 2004, so maybe in 2044 they will as well. Yeah, I just love like the effect with the honey, how it's like a rubbery texture and it's like filling out the letter A. It's just so cute. So of course I've been adding Gravity Falls pins like a rapid fire the last 2 years. I feel like so many fantasy pin creators, including myself, have been like coming out with banger after banger years after it ended. But Disney hopped on the trend too, because this is an official Gravity Falls pin. It was a box lunch mystery set. I was only interested in this one and I got to trade for it because it's the only hard enamel one. It's like, I guess the chaser, I'm assuming, because it does have a hinge element and it has a bill inside. I just think it is so adorable. And even though I have a Journal 3 pin and 1 and 2, like this one, I had to have another one just because of that hinge element made it different. I am so happy. Actually, a lot of these, now that I'm looking at it, like some of my favorite ones I did get to trade, like the Nemo cluster I did. Oh my gosh, I didn't buy many of these. Pretty impressed. But looking at the fantasy ones, that is less true. I think this is like one of my favorite Disney Channel pins in general, at least, that I own. Like, it's not of a specific movie or show or anything. It's just so classic feeling. I love the wand and the little Mickey head dotting the eye. So my last official pin of this 2024 list is KP. I wanted to choose the only PTD I got this year because it's the only Disney Channel one. We are waiting for Candace. I beg, I plead, I am a broken record at this point. And of course, any Disney Channel PTD is welcomed, but I feel like I want to complete like the main ensemble of Phineas and Ferb. I don't know what they're waiting for since it's been since 2023, so I'm getting worried that they won't make it. But for now, we got another badass redhead to add to the PTD Disney Channel collection. I love how that's like a thing now. There's like 5 or 6 of them at this point. I love it. But for now, we're gonna have to settle for the Candace that I made with Vanessa. Dream Team. I love little pins. Like, I feel like it's so easy to be obsessed with all of like the huge fantasy pins out there, which, oh my gosh, they are drop dead gorgeous, including my big ones. But like, appreciating the simplicity of little ones, like round off the big ones, you know, like it complements each other in a way, having a mix of both. So I had to dabble into the art of little quaint pins myself, and it was almost harder to think of an idea for the smaller one, just because it's like, there's not so much detail. It's basically one idea, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a bunch of little things that cultivate a pin. Like, it's the song and then the characters. But I hopefully I'm going to continue the series in 2025. I really want to make a Bet On It pin and a Rockstar one. Mainly. I have other ideas, but those two would be the next one. So please support me at Princess_Productions. I will link it down below. Disney Chris, she's a big pin creator. I don't usually go after the big ones because they don't do super niche things. So I really appreciate when they do. So thank you. Yeah, this has Why Not? The Tide is High, and What Dreams Are Made Of, I think, yeah. And the cassette tape says Lily's Mix. I am not young enough to not know what that is, okay? Like, I have vivid memories in like kindergarten, and we all like got the class song on a cassette tape to bring home, and I didn't listen to it like with headphones or anything, but I did have it in the car. I love the colors. The background screams Lizzie, of course, with the color scheme, and it's a huge one. Bill, oh my gosh, this is my second favorite pin, maybe even my favorite. Oh, I think my Gravity Falls pin that I made is my favorite, but this is a close second, if not tied. Like, it's just so creative. Whereas like mine represents the show as a whole, this is just a creative masterpiece. I love how you have Bill, this big massive figure, right? Because he's very controlling and powerful, and you have like Dipper and Mabel inside, and it's almost like Dipper is like trying to figure out all the pieces of the puzzle while he's literally inside him, and like, cause like Bill knows all their moves, right? At least till he's outsmarted in the end, obviously. It's still a Disney ending. And you have Mabel just squeezing the living life out of Waddles, like in the theme song. It is adorable. Like you see their personalities, and then he's just like looking. I just especially love the color of his eye. Oh, I could go on and on, but yeah, phenomenal. 11 out of 10. So next up is a pin that I've never shown on the channel. I just didn't have any other pins to show with it. I didn't want to say pin mail video and it's a singular pin, but it does not make it any less epic. I feel like she does have the power to have her own video, but I did not have the willpower myself to wait to open her on camera, but this is Cassandra. I love how there's a blue-haired Cass pin made in 2024, and I love it. And the flame just like really makes you focus like on her blue hair, and look at the expression in her eyes. It's another Tangled the Series pin. So I picked one on my main like Tangled the Series board, and then I have a board up there that you can't really see out of frame that like doesn't really fit my idea of what I want to collect, but I can't seem to let go of. I am gonna get rid of some, I think, this upcoming year, but I'm gonna have a really hard time letting go of this one, so I'm most likely not. Just because like it's my dream type of pin, just like the characters, like an ensemble pin, right? Like how I make for Once Upon a Time, and we'll get there in a second. I especially love that I own like a pin that has Lance on it. He's very underrated. Another ensemble pin. This is the 4th pin in my Once Upon a Time series, Entering Oz. And it is perfect that it came out this year because it is the year that Wicked came out, the movie. As I was saying earlier, it's my whole personality right now. The Yellow Brick Road and the Wicked Witch, even though she doesn't have green skin because she doesn't always in the Once Upon a Time version. But that is a phenomenal arc in the show, one of my favorites for sure, and it's just so striking, the colors and the Emerald City and the tornado, and oh my gosh, like I could go on about this pin, but I just want to focus on the Wicked aspects of it because of the movie. Let me know in the comments if you have never seen the play and weren't that interested in the movie but saw it anyway because there's like seemingly like a cultural phenomenon just like Barbie was, and you were so on the floor. Like I really want to know. And I picked one more Once Upon a Time pin that wasn't mine because I was able to somehow acquire even more, even though I seemingly have almost all of them at this point. So I got the purple variant of Regina, and this is an LE15 1.5, as I do have the red one already, but yeah, a full body pin. I mean, it's classic. Speaking of Wicked, as I always do, I got this pin. Hold on. It's kind of like 2 pins in one. Let me just hold that. Okay, I got this pin because I did go to the play here in Toronto. It's my 3rd time seeing the play. I seemingly see it every 6 years. I've seen it in Montreal once and then 2 times in Toronto. But yeah, it was celebrating the Wicked 20th anniversary, though it was the 21st anniversary by the time I saw it. But they had an exclusive pin for the anniversary, even though I have a Wicked pin that represents the play that I got in 2012 when I first saw it. It's like the Wicked Witch, which if you look closely here, the eye is dotted with this, and it's like a dangle moment, which I don't have it with my other play pins because I don't like to have doubles, so I kind of have it on my nonsensical lanyard, which has things that I don't collect, but I have anyway. So another theater pin, because of course, if you recall, I have to actually pick one on the actual theater board itself, is this pin. It is not an official Matilda pin, but I had to have one because it is my first Broadway play I ever saw back in 2015, and there is an incredible creator that is filling the gaps in my collections where I'm missing the pin or the pin doesn't exist. I only have 2 for now, but I have my eye on one more, and it's perfect because they blend in with the size of my official pins. I do not care if they're official or not. I just want them to be hard enamel. So that was 20 pins. For my last 4, I wanted to show you pins on my travel board representing my 3 big trips this year and then also 1 mini adventure. The reason why I want to show one at home is because Canada's Wonderland finally has their own pins. I have been waiting for this moment. I don't know when they came out with them, but somewhere between 2021 and now, because that's the last time I went. And not only did I get this one, I also got a Halloween Haunt and Winterfest one because I've been to those special events before. But this one is just the epiphany of like what Canada's Wonderland is. You see the silhouette of the swings, which is one of my favorite attractions. So my first trip this year was Banff, and I've been before, so I already had quite a bit of pins, but I managed to find a bunch of new ones that I don't own and new places I visited this time, of course, including Lake Agnes, which is a lake above Lake Louise, and this hike, oh my, I will link the vlog. Oh, it was like 4 hours, like up, like top to bottom. It was all uphill. It was quite the time. Somehow did it on 3 hours of sleep. More on that, check the video. It was an adventure. It's just really cool to find a pin of a lake that's like in the mountains. And then the following month, I went to Quebec City, among other places, and Cows is a great ice cream chain. There's not too many across Canada. They're mostly in Prince Edward Island, but there is one in Quebec City, and they do have a pin for like each place they have one. So far I have Banff and this one, hoping to collect them all. So finally, my last pin represents my Italy trip, but ironically, I didn't pick any of the Italy ones, even though I was in Italy 99% of the time the month I was in Europe. I ultimately went with my Monte Carlo / Monaco pin. I like how it has the country and city. And it's cool because it's not screen printed, whereas most of them were, which are still nice, but it's cool that it's like hard enamel, really good quality, pretty good size, and it represents the place really well because of the casino, right, with the 4 aces. And if you haven't, you definitely have to check out my vlogs that represent all 3 of those trips. They're up on my channel, on my travel playlist. If you scroll a bit down, you'll find them as well. Like, it's such a good time. I'm super proud of those videos. Here's an overview of my favorite pins of the year. Starting next year, I'm not going to continue the trend of doing 25 for the year 25, but instead I'm going to limit myself to 1 pin per board because when I started this in 2021, I actually did have 21 separate displays. So that's it for my top 24 pins of 2024. I hope you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more pin-related content from me. I cannot believe we are nearing the end of the year. Happy December. I hope everybody had a lovely year, and I would love to know your favorite pin that I picked that I got in 2024. And even more importantly, I would love to know your favorite pin that you acquired this year. And as always, take care of yourselves and have a magical day. Bye.